Okay, so let's keep it real. Let's get straight to the point. These are the things I wish I would have known before buying this camper. So this is a video for anyone who is interested in any form of camper living. This video is for you. These are the things I wish I would have known. I feel like I feel like I'm far enough in this renovation that I can give a good enough list of, actually have a list of things that I wish I would have known before I bought this camper. So if you are interested in buying a camper or living camper life or any variation of that, this video is for you. Please, please watch. I know that I ramble, but I got a list. I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to make sure that everything that I have on here is touched on and you guys get the inside scoop, because honestly, so much has unveiled during this renovation. I'm like, que yo voy a hacer aquí, que yo voy a hacer aquí, and I just be mad confused. But now that I'm like far enough in this, I'm like, your girl's like a pro at this. Enough of that long-winded explanation. You see, I'll be talking too much. If you're new to my channel, you know, hi, my name is Michelle. I'm single. I'm 30 years old, you know. Just saying, just putting that out there. Oh, okay. Now, the reason why I started the video in the car is because that is the most important thing to think about when you are thinking about camper living. If that's what you are thinking about doing, you need to think about your vehicle that is going to haul or tow or any variation of pulling your camper. You need to think about your vehicle. Now, I have a Ford F-150 2003 XL model. As you see, I do not have a back seat. I have an extended cab, and it is a pickup truck. Now, this was an impulse buy. When I went to go buy this camper, this was out of survival. It was a purchase that I made in survival, so I really wasn't thinking. What I was honestly thinking when I went into this was, okay, I want something that's compact enough that's still gonna make me feel like I'm still driving my truck. Now, I've never driven a vehicle behind my own vehicle, so that seemed to me like daunting. I was like, I don't know how that would even work. What if I have to reverse park? How can you reverse park when you have something behind you? So that didn't seem like a feasible option to me because I didn't feel comfortable. And when something doesn't feel comfortable to me, if I don't feel confident enough, I'm not gonna risk it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather be safe than sorry. That's just my motto. I knew I wanted something that's still gonna have the ability to make me feel like I am still driving just my truck with just something maybe in the back. So I chose to get the slide-in truck bed camper style. Now I'm going to insert some clips of what the outside looks like and how I mounted it and what I needed to mount it. So do not worry, your girl has that on the list. So that's the reason why I chose that style of camper. I wanted something compact. Now, here's the downside to that. It is hard. It was hard to even put this in. You had to back up so perfectly because if any wrong move, the camper could just tilt over and then it will fall down and just break. It would just fall down to its side. It will tilt over. It's very, very like not stable. These stilts, it's on stilts. You guys will see. I'll show you in the clip. Okay, guys. So let me do a quick explanation. First, that is my truck, my Ford F-150. That's my baby. That's my guardian angel. That's the name of my truck. Her name is my guardian angel. I have the XL model. And then this is the camper. Let me give you a better view of that. So this is the camper. As you can tell, that's the back of my pickup truck. And then that's the camper. And you see how that slides in, right? So this is the style of camper I chose to get because I wanted something compact. And as you can tell, it fits in the back of the truck. So it still almost makes it feel like it's a whole, just one extension. And it doesn't feel like you're literally not towing anything, is what I'm basically trying to say. So that's what I wanted. I wanted something that was still going to make me feel like I was driving my truck, you know? Now, that right there, that's the Stilt. That's what that goes on. Do you see how thin that is? And I'm going to show you when I go up close how raggedy and like how unstable it is. Like honestly, it's a whole thing. And I wish I could show you what the tires look like when you're in the camper, because they sink and oh my god, I don't know how I can show you that. But it's on stilts, and when you have it on those stilts, you have to have it on a platform, because without a platform, it doesn't have enough security to hold it just on the stilts. So it took literally 3 hours to put this truck camper in the back of the truck. It took just meticulous maneuvering to get it right in the right place, because any false movement would have tipped it over. So that being said, realistically, taking this off the truck, the only way that can happen is if I have a strong enough platform to lay this on, because just on the stilts will not hold the camper up. It will not hold the camper up. So now basically I'm like a turtle, and that's my turtle shell, and I can't remove it because it's a part of my skeleton. So I just have to make peace with that realistically, because taking that off is just not, it doesn't seem like a very feasible option. It just, that's unrealistic because it took so long to put it back on. So that's something I wish I would have known going into it. Now thinking about it, I would have gotten a haul tray. Now that that's over, if you're interested in getting this style of camper, right, which is the slide-in truck camper, here's a couple of things that you need even before you're thinking about it. Now, this is industrial strength, or like a heavy duty strength. It's like a towing ring where you put something on so that your truck can tow it. I had to get this installed and bolted in to the actual truck before I can even consider getting this camper. Now, the only thing that's holding this camper in is this one little hook right here, and then that in there. So you see how this is like bolted there? So basically what's happening is when you're driving and propelling forward, this isn't moving because it's holding it taut, right? So I had to get 4 of them installed in a very strategic place to prevent the camper from moving. So now this is the Stilt system. This is the stilts. Now there's only one stilt on this side, and before you ask, yes, these are bolted into the actual camper. So the only thing that retracts is this part, and it retracts up to here. So then this still sticks out, guys. This still sticks out, and it sticks out substantially. Like, look at that. Look, in comparison, look at that. That's how much it sticks out from the truck. That's how much. So this sticks out. So now it makes your truck even wider. And that's something I didn't even think about. And look at this. Now, this is the back of my truck, and this is how much the camper sticks out in comparison to my truck. Look at that. You know? And now you can't see my my rear view mirrors anymore. So that factors into something else that I'm going to show you, but I'm going to get a better angle. But that goes to show you. So I have one here, and then I'm going to show you the other side where I have 2. So because there's only one here, it makes it so unstable. Oh, let me show you. Hold on. So now this is the view from the other one. So there's 2 on this side, and they stick out. So it's an uneven weight distribution. There's 2 on this side and only 1 on that side. And you need 3 people, because if you push down this lever to pull these up and you're not doing it exactly at the same rate, you can unbalance the camper and it will tilt. It will tip over, guys. It will tip over. Now this is the other the other two mounts that I had to get mounted into the truck. Guys, let me show you. This is where the propane tanks are being held. Let me see if I can show you. Let's do a good video where y'all see. So I have dual propane tanks. Now, believe it or not, that adds in weight. Oh, hold on. I should have known better than to do this. This is definitely not a one-handed job, and I'm trying to make it a one-handed job, and it is not working out. Okay, look. See, just had to try. So that is holding the propane tanks. That's the back of the fridge. I guess I can show y'all the back of the fridge. Now this is where you put the drinking water, as you can see there, and then this is where you put your general water. This is how you connect to a main power source. So this is not your average prong set, so you would have to get a converter box so that it can connect to a landline, right? So there's that's the exterior. Now I'm going to show you the front, which will be my front entrance of the camper. So this is the ditch that when I was pulling into park, my truck got caught in. Because I don't have four-wheel drive, you can kind of see the tire mark right there. I got stuck and I literally had to get a couple of the people who live here, they had to help me push the camper out. And literally the camper almost tilted over in this ditch. We are prone to flooding here, so this is like 10 times worse. Everything will be flooded. And the day that I came in, there was flooding the day before. Got stuck in the mud. The thing almost tipped over and fell over. And if the camper would have fell over, it would have been RIP, honestly. So that's another concern, you know, the fact that I don't have a vehicle that's four-wheel drive, plus the added weight of the camper. It's just not a good recipe for success, honestly. And I didn't know that when I first went into this. Like I said, you know, this was a spur of the moment, in the minute decision I made. So, you know, I just gotta have to figure it out. So now this is the front of my camper. That's my front door. That's a ladder. That's the steps, you hear me? And then you see these lights over here? Now that is what's going to be what lets people behind me know if I'm braking or if I'm, you know, whatever, turning, like the turn signal. Now these lights do not work. They do not work. So if you are interested in getting a camper, please make sure that they have some way to test those lights, because I am left having to figure out how to make those work, because technically this camper is undrivable, unable to get on the road the way it is because of that. And I am having and left to be stuck to figure that out. And that is a whole nother process in itself. Now the camper came with steps initially installed, but my camper is a 1989 model Sportster. Hold on. I think I have the original thing that I can show y'all. Hold on. Okay, so here's the information about the the camper. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see, actually, my camper is a 1982 Sunline Coach Company C-951 Sportster. Now the camper, and that's bare bone with nothing else, weighs 2,060 pounds. Now my Ford F-150 has a towing capacity of 2,100. So that goes to show you that I way underestimated, and that's why I have all these occurring issues. So please learn from me. Do not make this mistake. Always overestimate when you are thinking about getting a camper or anything like that. I basically wanted to give y'all a view of what it looks like being me inside of this camper. Now, this is what I wish I would have looked for when I stepped into the camper. First thing. Touch the roof. Touch the roof everywhere. Everywhere. I mean the ceiling. Touch the ceiling everywhere. Touch for soft spots. If there is soft spots, that means that is possible water damage, more than likely sagging from water damage. Water is not your friend. Moisture is not your friend when it comes to campers in general. It's just not a good thing. It creates mold, mildew. So many problems have arose because of water damage in this camper. Or that's another thing. Check your windows. Let me show you that. Check your windows. Make sure you touch your windows. Now, I had to re-putty this whole entire wall and replace all the water damage that was on the rim of this. All the water damage that was here. This ceiling has a soft spot. That's what I'm talking about. You guys probably can't tell, but it's softer than all the other parts of the roof. And I had to replace all that and fix all that. That's another thing. If you can possibly, and if the weather gods allow it, go on a rainy day, because then you can possibly see physical water damage. So please, please, please learn from my mistake. Check the windowsills. Check the ceiling. Please, please check it, because you do not want to make the mistake I made. Now that your water damage is like secure, make sure you check all your windowsills. Make sure you check all the hatches. Now, when I say hatches, I mean this. You see how this is the fire escape? Make sure you check all that. Now, look at this. This is a perfect example. You see how that is not secure? This is not. That is possible entryway for water damage, and I have to make sure that is completely sealed. So I have to fix that, because that can create potential problems. And if this all caves in, that's my roof in my bedroom. This is my bedroom. It will all fall on me. So that cannot happen. Now here's another hatch. This is the bathroom. Now I had to flex seal and repair this, because this had water damage as well. And honestly, the floor is creaky, because there could be possible water rot or dry rot underneath there from water damage, because, and it makes sense now that you think about it. It's sort of common sense. So in hindsight, it makes sense now. You know, when you're taking a shower, está caliente, I need to turn on the fan, but I didn't want to like affect the hearing. So I was like, girl, just make the video quick and sweat it out. So when you're in here, right, what happens is when you're standing in the bathroom, because it's such a small space, you have just a curtain, water is going to possibly get everywhere. And water sits, it sinks into the wood and then damage. So please, please, please check everything. Make sure everything. Now, another thing is, pull out all of the cabinets and the drawers. I've had to repair all of the dresser drawers in the kitchen cabinet. Look at that. I had to pull them out and repair them. This is one of the repairs. As you can tell, I haven't applied a track system so that it can attach to there so it could be functional. And I got to figure that out. Now, I do have a working stove, believe it or not. You can't see it under this mess. But that's another thing. Living, environment. Let's talk about environment, please. Let's show the cabinets first. Make sure you pull all that out. You want to look for soft spots in the wood. You see how that wood is splintered? This is soft. Look, that could possibly break. So now this needs to be replaced. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see that? That's damaged. I gotta fix that, but I don't know how. I do have a dual sink, so that's an added benefit. So, and that works. All the electrical in the camper works, but the electrical on the outside doesn't work. Let's give you a better view. This is the pantry slash like where the batteries and stuff is at. Like you saw, this is the bathroom. And then this is the dinette. Okay, for obvious reasons, I'm not going to go up on the roof. Maybe I'll go, hold on. Let's go up on the roof because you really do need to check that. It is important, so I'll go up there. So the ladder is not really secure, guys, so I'm not going to try to risk it. But if you possibly can, please, 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 I advise it strongly. Go check the roof of the truck camper if you're interested. Any camper that you're interested in getting, please check the roof. There was patching that needed to be done on the roof because there was damage there. I did not go up on the roof when I went to go look at the truck camper. So I did not realize that, and I found out too late, and I've had to deal with the aftermath. You know, you have to understand, and you can't go at it with a naivety. These people are trying to sell their stuff. They want to get rid of it. They don't want it. For whatever reason, they don't want it. They're not doing you a favor. You're doing them a favor. So take your time. Try to get up on the roof. If you can go on a rainy day, go on a rainy day. Pull out your drawers. Also, the dinette, pull out the cushions. Check the wood. Step on it. You know, step on it. Look for soft spots. Now, in my bedroom, look at this. You guys can't see, but I've had to repair it. I've had to build this brace system with these wooden planks because the foundation of this wasn't sturdy enough, and it felt like it was going to sink in. That was because at some point this had water damage. The water fell down there. It seeped into the wood. And with time and the age of the camper, it's a 1982, you know, it created this problem. So now I'm left with it, you know. The fridge works. Let me show you the fridge system. This is the water tank down here. And like I said, this is where the table would be. So you got to factor all that in, guys. You got to factor all that in. Check your drawers, check the bathroom floor, pull out the cabinets, check roof. Now, I'm just checking my list. I'm checking my list. Now, I'm going to talk about environment. Perfect. I turned off the fans. Guys, I have fans. I've been sent fans. Like, trust me, I have an AC unit. Your girl is good, but I didn't want the sound to be interfered with because I wanted my voice to be very, very clear as I'm fanning myself profusely with this, right? Because it's hot. You know, I'm doing my renovations in the summertime. That adds into it. You want to make sure you're cool. You want to make sure that you are in a safe environment. There's a lot going on. I am parked in a trailer park, so you kind of deal with all your neighbors and all those mixed personalities and everything's going on. So you got to think about that. All these things matter. You got to think about the weight. You got to think about the cost of the renovation. Guys, if you are thinking about even renovating this, that's a whole nother series. All the tips I can tell y'all about renovating campers, this is just what to look for if you're interested in buying a camper. I'm telling you what I wish I would have known looking into it. Make sure you check the water. I bought this camper. I don't know what the water and the plumbing system looks like. I could put water in this camper, try to turn on the shower or turn off the sink and come into a whole new set of problems because I didn't know. There was no water in the camper to test it. But I was desperate, so I bought it. So, you know, it is what it is. Guys, I'm sweating. I got to get out of here. So I'm going to wrap this video up because it is hot. It's hot and I want to turn on the fans, but I'm going to sweat it out for this video because I want to really, really get all these points across. So factor in your environment, factor in your budget. If it wasn't for the help of the Hausofrealness, I don't know how half of this, even more than half, honestly, like 75% of this was done because of the Hausofrealness. And I've been trying to figure out the rest of the way and penny pinch and, you know, all that. So factor in your budget. Always factor that you're going to spend a lot when you're renovating something. The older it is, the more you're going to have to renovate. I know realistically, I'm going to have to fix the bottom of that. I might have to gut out this whole kitchen. I'm coming into problems that are bigger than what I expected, but I got to figure it out because now I'm a homeowner. I bought it. And that's why I'm giving you guys all these tips because I want y'all to not make the same mistake that I made when I bought a camper. I'm telling you what to look for. Touch everything. Look at everything. Pull out everything. Feel everything. Factor in the weight. Factor in your truck or whatever vehicle you have that's hauling this, your hauling capacity. Add that 10 times more. Make sure you have more than enough because you don't want to have just enough because I had just enough and now I don't have enough. That's just the truth. And I'm left to figure it out because this was an impulse buy. This was an impulse buy out of survival. So I'm just letting you know. If you guys are interested in a whole, like, what I wish I would have known before renovating an old camper video, please let me know in the comments down below. Interact with me. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. And tell me if you'll be interested in that. I'm pretty sure I missed out on some things, like some minor details, but I think I pretty much told y'all everything. Environment, timing, weather, budget, time. Honestly, I thought this was going to be done in 3 months. Pfft. Add 6 more on top of that because you're probably going to need it. Like, give yourself time. I went into this not knowing anything. I've never even built IKEA furniture. This is all completely like off the dome piece. This is all off the dome piece. This is all like me figuring out as I go. So I'm just telling you what I wish I would have known as a complete novice going into buying a truck camper. And on that note, deuces, because it's hot. I want to go take a shower and I got to edit this because I got to give y'all content. Yo, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this camper. You don't see that? Like, but I gave y'all all the tips that y'all need. So please, I feel good about it. I'll sweat for y'all anytime, baby. All right. I love you guys for watching. Bye.